You are listening to the Great Leader, Great Mom podcast, episode 47. I'm your host, Liz Jolly. I'm founder of the School of Courage. I'm an engineer turned life coach because I saw the need for more courage in my own life as a mom and wanting to be a great leader. I use the skills we talk about every single day, and I am excited to teach them to you so you can really unlock your own potential. Well, thanks for joining me today. This episode comes from when somebody was telling me about how great it feels to be independent and to do all these things at work and at home. And they asked, how do I know when I'm taking on too much? In the world today, a lot of us love being super independent, like taking on all the home activities, all of the things with our career and excelling there. And then we do all kinds of other things, like maybe take care of elderly parents or helping out at school for the kids or volunteering or all the other ways where we spend our time. And it's so satisfying to look at all we do and be so proud, but there can be this sense of overwhelm or burnout rumbling underneath the surface. Like, how do we know if we're doing too much? And so the answer is you ask yourself the feeling that's fueling your actions. So let's take some examples. This follows up well after our last episode on guilt. So if you haven't checked that one out, definitely go back an episode. You'll enjoy that one. Let's list everything that we want to do for the upcoming week. Say you're planning your week out and you're filling every second with all kinds of different things, from work to calling and making doctor's appointments to going to doctor's or dentist appointments for the kids or all the things. And you fill everything out on your calendar and you pause and you ask yourself, what is the feeling underneath that thing that I just put on my calendar? Like, when I look at it, what is the feeling I get? And say it's like dinner with your parents on Friday night. Is the feeling that's driving that invitation guilt? If so, proceed with caution. When we take action from guilt, we end up resentful most of the time. Say your mom is constantly calling about getting together for dinner at your house, and you feel so guilty, like, I have to say yes, even though you really don't want to, because maybe your kids have soccer games really early the next day, or you work the entire Friday leading up to dinner and going to the grocery store and actually cooking, getting everything ready, it's going to be tight. So you make dinner, say in this example, and all the family comes over. In your mind, you're thinking something like, I'm doing this because I have to. To make this even more palpable for you, say your mom during the dinner offers a comment like, you didn't make the special dessert you're really good at, or you don't have my favorite drink. And that puts you into the full resentment mode. And you are ruminating the whole dinner thinking, I don't even want to have you here. And now you're pointing out my flaws in the dinner or things that should be different. Right? And we like work ourselves up. So when we're feeling that resentment, we're not engaging in the conversation. We're not enjoying it. Our whole heart is not there. We're likely just kind of hate cooking or angry cooking and are angry cleaning the dishes. We're not enjoying the conversation. We're not savoring the laughter and the moments. We're just seething behind the surface. We may be smiling, but we're seething. So notice if we had consciously decided, yes, I would like to have dinner with my family and it's going to be fun. And you would have had potentially food delivered so you can enjoy the time beforehand instead of like slaving away in the kitchen, chopping and putting things in the oven. And just decided, I don't really care about the judgy comments. I'm doing this because I want to, not because I have to. Maybe you still make dinner, but you make it with some fun new recipes that could potentially taste awful, but you engage your kids and you guys are laughing and having a great time over music while cooking. No matter what people say, your goal was to have fun and connect with your kids, enjoy the company. And so even if the food is awful, it doesn't matter because you're doing it because you want to, and you can laugh at yourself and you can admit that it's not good. Be totally fine. It's not out of guilt or obligation. It's out of a totally different feeling. And therefore, the result you get is different. So we need to go through everything we do in our week, everything we're planning to do, and question the feeling that's under that plan, that action we're going to take, because it makes all the difference. And you can ask yourself, well, why do I want to do it? What's the feeling underneath it? And don't fool yourself because it's easy to be like, no, I'm doing that because that's what I have to do because it's my family. Instead of thinking, well, why? Like, really, what's under it? Because if you question it a little bit more, you really might not want to go do it. And that is okay. You need to just get honest with yourself about it. Again, don't fake this because when you're in resentment, you will know that you were actually doing it from a place of guilt in the moment. We also want to be really careful that we're not doing things because we think somebody else wants us to, or somebody else thinks we should go do it, or we're trying to win people over. Like if we do something because we want them to think that we're really good at something, or we want them to think we're valuable, or we want them to appreciate us, notice how you're looking to get your feelings from their behavior for whatever that means to them in their mind. And so you're solving for something outside of yourself. If you are doing something from a place of what will others think, you should also question it. If you're taking on, say, at work, running a donation campaign because one of the other bosses asked you and you really don't want to do it, but you feel like you should do it and you want to impress them, you think that that's how you get promotions or get people to think highly of you, and you want to show them how you can just do everything. Yeah, that's probably not the feeling you want to do it from. And the reality is they just want someone to take it on, and it doesn't have to be you. Likely, they're never going to think about it really much later that you did that extra thing and sacrificed all the things if you're really busy at home and commuting and whatever else it is. You don't have to do it. Somebody else can do it. We don't value our own time enough often. And in this case, we're valuing their opinion of us over our opinion of ourselves. And we need to value our own opinion here. We need to feel good enough about ourselves that we don't look for them and their opinion to make us feel good about ourselves and therefore take on all these things that we really don't want to be doing. Often we fill our time with things to impress others or because others think we should do something. And we don't impress ourselves by doing this. We don't stop and ask ourselves, is this what I want to be doing? And many of us spend our whole lives doing everything because someone thinks we should, or in general, society thinks we should. And we don't even know what our opinion is on the subject. It's like we just feel like it's something we're supposed to do to fit some mold. Let's take something really simple, like say you go to the store and you want to buy flowers for yourself to put in your house for a party you're going to have, and you are just drawn to what is popular and what somebody says you should get for flowers, instead of being like, what kind of flowers do I actually like? Do I like tulips? Do I like roses? I mean, and that seems ridiculous maybe to some of you, but we often don't even know what we really like. We just fit some mold. And it's in clothing too, where everyone's like, this is the uniform, this is what we wear. But what would you wear if you had the choice? Many of us don't even know. And it's exhausting to live when we're trying to follow what other people think we should do or their opinions on the subject, and we're not even sure what we think. It's hard when we try to read other people's minds and when we're looking for that validation or approval for them to make us feel like we're doing a good job instead of from ourselves. And one thing that can really help you in this space is going to this future version of yourself. And by that, I mean, if you were to sit and think, who do I want to be 5 years from now? Like, what do I want to be doing? What kind of person is that? And say you want to be a manager over a large team and be the mom that makes it home most nights for soccer practice or soccer games. Does she take on these volunteer activities at work? Very likely not. And I'm not saying you should always say no to that, but if your heart is fully in those spaces, like taking on the volunteer things, then go do it. But if you're just doing it for approval to kind of hustle your way forward, then don't do it. Because once you know and are really clear on what is it you want to do, where are you going from like a vision standpoint of future you, once you make that decision, it cleans up all the wasted time and decisions we spend in the moment that take us away from going towards our future self. Get clear on what it is you actually want. When it comes to decisions, I really rely a lot on this framework where I have a decision, I look out what are the options, and usually there's like two options you can narrow it down to. And then I ask myself, what are my reasons for each one of those decisions? Usually there's a list of pros and cons for each. And then I ask myself, what is the feeling underneath that reason? When I look at that decision and I look at those options, what is the feeling underneath it? And remember, guilt, external validation, hustling, scarcity, obligation, panic, fear, any of those type of feelings, not a good feeling to make a decision from. If it's something more like commitment, courage, empowerment, determined, curiosity, amusement, love, compassion, generosity, those are very good feelings to make decisions from. And they just lead you towards progress in a lot of ways versus, like, again, that whole guilt leads to resentment or hustling leads to just exhaustion. And you could still make a decision from a emotion like guilt or hustle, but just go in eyes wide open consciously. And don't be surprised when, say, you feel resentment or you're exhausted afterward. We want to just be more conscious in our lives, and we don't want to look back and then beat ourselves up on a decision. And a lot of times this happens too, where we see that things didn't go as planned and we think, oh, I made the wrong decision there. Instead of thinking, you know what, with all the information I had, I knew my reasons. I liked my reasons. They were coming from a good feeling and it didn't pan out. That's okay. What can I learn from this and apply going forward versus beating yourself up on the past and thinking unhelpful thoughts like, I should have known. Simply put, you should not have known, because the reality is you didn't know. And so whenever we argue with reality, i.e. the past, you lose. You can't change it. It's not helpful. Apply it into your future. That's where you can create a different ending, a different story. You have to look at your week again and examine all the things scheduled on your calendar and clean up the things that are coming from the feelings you don't want to take action from. Make decisions from that empowered place, getting clear on why you're doing them, and then have your own back. If it doesn't play out exactly as you thought, it's okay. You are here to learn and grow. And the more you can check in with yourself and the more you can grow and learn, the better. The more you're going to feel more self-love, self-confidence, self-awareness. It is a great place to build empowerment from. I hope you can apply this all next week. And remember, have your own back. Don't beat yourself up when things don't go as planned. And if you ever want help with any of this, go to lizjolly.com and let's set up a time to chat. I'd love to hear more from you. Put a comment in the episode notes if you liked what you heard, and feel free to forward it on to someone else. I will see you next week. Till next time, take care.